All right. Here we are today, September, whatever the heck it is. Second. This feels like real fall now. ULM has had a football game. You guys act like you're in first grade. I don't know what y'all are doing.
He's looking at me freaking weird, man. I don't know.
Oh, I know what it is. Y'all are sitting across from each other, and you never do that. There's
a reason I picked that spot when we first started the podcast.
That's
many moons ago.
That's why this is weird.
Hey, I tried to take it back.
Yeah.
Because you like it too much or don't like it at all?
I don't like it at all.
Okay. Just had to clarify that for the crowd.
Not even a little bit.
It's also it's weird for me because now I'm looking to my left. Normally I look and this is the angle it's always been.
Someone likes to look at me.
Yeah, I love it, you know.
Yeah.
But now I look over here and it's like I'm looking at somebody naked because you don't have any. You don't have this.
I'm not Brady Rouse.
You don't have a thick mustache.
I'm not the next Brady Rouse.
Like-
Over the summer, maybe. I did have a mustache over the summer. But, hiding Brady Rouse. Shout out Brady.
So anyway, yeah.
Big shoes to fill over here.
Yeah.
Here's your replacement.
Let's just say we miss you, Brady.
Clearly,
We miss you a lot.
But no, so we're this is episode 2 of the fall semester for here in 2025, and then like Avery just said, we have a new look on the corner here for this week. We're kind of rolling out some different things for the podcast, and one of them is trying to have a ULM-ish guest every couple of episodes, and so Avery's our first one. So,
Yeah.
hey Avery.
Hello, everybody.
And so we're glad that she gets to kick this off because what the listening audience may not know is that Avery's sort of been a part of this thing really since the beginning. Definitely a dedicated listener. You've also helped us do a few things along the way on the podcast journey. So that's been super cool. So behind the scenes, I guess you would say, which has been awesome.
It's normally how I like to stay, but
Yeah. Now today we put you sort of literally front and center.
Yeah.
You're right here. And so the reason for doing that is because you have a story to tell, and so we want to get into that in a minute. But first, just kind of introduce yourself to the podcasting world or whatever. Tell us a little bit about, not that we don't know, but everybody else, who Avery Jones is.
All right. Well, like you said, my name is Avery Jones. I attend ULM. I'm a junior, and I'm majoring in elementary education. Let's see. I grew up in West Monroe. Went to West Monroe High School. I'm sure I'll get some slack for that in a little bit. Let's see what else.
Yeah, we got Neville and West
Neville,
Monroe
West
sitting
Monroe.
right.
I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know which is better.
No comment.
I know
Can't
it was
start
better while I
this
was
over
there,
over
but-
there.
Let's see. I'm in KD at ULM, and been
So
here all
you
my
got
life.
you got parents.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I do got parents. I live at home with my family. I have a 25-year-old brother, Carson, and then a 13-year-old sister, Emery.
Yeah.
They push my buttons
I have a
pretty well.
25-year-old brother that still lives at home.
Yeah, he
Wait,
just moved back
I was
home,
like,
actually.
Carson's 25?
He does.
Freshly
he looks-
back at the house.
He looks really young. Like,
How young does he
Don't
look?
tell him
he's
that.
about your age.
Okay.
I meant that as
Yeah.
a compliment.
20, you say 25. Yeah, that does seem big and old, right?
Big
He's
and old.
not that this is about him, but he's in PT school. So
Yeah.
So
another day.
yeah, so he's a regular Wednesday morning cold plunge guy too. So I don't know about the rest of the people at the table, whatever. So anyway,
I think that's a fake day, really.
I think I've been as many times.
I
as
show
y'all.
up. I show up every time, and they're just not here.
oh, trust me, it's
gets here
all
too
too
early.
real. We got video to prove it. So yeah. But yeah, so and then I met you your freshman year or before your freshman year? Would you say?
We met when I came to prep at the activity center. I met
Wow.
you while Carson was working it. And then the next prep, you asked him to ask me to come work it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't even know y'all, so I stood by Carson the whole time.
And that was when you were headed into freshman year?
Yes, so like June of 2023.
You weren't even on.
Yeah.
You weren't even at school yet, and you were working the booth.
I stood at the table. I don't know if you'd call it work the booth, but
Hey,
I was
it's
there.
a good way to get to know somebody,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it still took like another semester or so to actually walk in the Wesley doors, but
So when was the first time you came to Wesley, do you feel like?
I think I might have came to the Greek Life service that we had on Sundays, like the last one of the fall semester.
Moons ago.
In the fall semester. Okay,
Yeah, like
so
I think maybe the actual.
you
last
did
one.
darken the doors in your
I did.
fall semester. Okay, first
One time,
first
and I
semester
was
of
like,
college.
oh, that wasn't that bad, and then had to wait a little bit before I had to come back. Maybe he's been
Wow.
inviting me for a reason, you know.
Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. No, see, yeah, you give people an opportunity like that just to get to know them, you know. So that is kind of funny
here
how
I
that
am.
works. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. What about so yeah, you have Carson and Emory, and then mom and dad, and then you got grandparents in the Monroe area, right?
Yes.
West Monroe
My
area.
mom's parents live in Monroe, and then I have her sister and her family. So my cousins, aunt and uncle, they live in Monroe, and then my other uncle and aunt and some baby cousins just moved back from Georgia. So we're happy to have them. And then in West Monroe, my dad's parents live there. My dad's sister and her family, cousins, live in West Monroe too.
Yeah, so it's a
We're
lot
all
of
in the area.
yeah, a lot of people around. So that's good too, right? So
Yep.
I like it. I like it.
You got any pets?
I do. I have a dog. His name is Leo.
Your dog's name's Leo,
Yeah.
as in like Leonardo DiCaprio or what?
No, like law enforcement officer, because my dad's a cop.
Oh, that's a lot better answer.
Yeah,
Shout out Tommy Jones. I
Yeah.
a lot of
that's
respect.
cool.
I was
I'll
trying to
shout him
make
out.
fun and yeah.
L.E.O.
Yeah.
Law enforcement officer.
I
Dad,
like
I'm
it.
shouting you out since Carson never has when he's on interview. Okay. Yeah. So I have a dog. He's 4, Labradoodle, or maybe 5, and then a cat. Her name's
Yeah.
Sassy Pants.
Okay.
My
Well,
sister named her.
you didn't have to share that, but whatever.
She fits in with
Hey.
the girls in the family.
That's
so.
a good name for a cat.
Yeah.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it basically could be every cat's name probably in
Oh,
some
yeah.
ways.
Mason's
Yeah.
new nickname.
Sassy
Sassy
Pants.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, that
All right.
fits really well.
That's
Good, Wyatt.
Okay, yeah, you guys can't sit across from each other anymore. That's not
Yeah,
gonna
this
work.
is gonna be dangerous.
Take a timeout and switch.
So, okay, tell us one thing that's been. Give us your highlight of Kappa Delta. Your experience as a Kappa Delta at ULM. It doesn't have to be the highest, but one of them.
One of the pretty good ones.
Mm-hmm.
So this year, actually, I have the opportunity to serve as our Vice President Learning and Development. So that's just kind of the leader over all of our new members that come through. So in the spring, when we COB'd some girls, and then this fall when we went through formal recruitment and got 29 new girls, I'm kind of in charge of them. I get to show them, how to balance Kappa Delta, how to balance college and life. Kind of be that role model for them that, everybody coming through college needs at some point. I kind of was their first look into KD once they got in bid day. I got to talk to them.
Yeah.
I have my meetings with them, just get to know them, check in on them. Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what I've enjoyed a lot. Just getting to return what I got given to me that meant so much coming in. And I'll get and share that with them.
29 new members.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
How many did y'all
okay.
get?
We got 16.
I heard 27.
Where?
Hey, what about who's y'all's? What did you say your title is? Vice President for what?
Learning and development.
Yeah.
Pledge mom.
Yeah.
That's just a fancy name.
Yeah, but we're not supposed to use that term. Better than pledge master.
Oh, that's funny that's what it is.
Bastard.
Yeah, we don't have one of those.
Okay.
Pledge heads.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then tell me this is this? Tell me if this is true or not. As a Kappa Delta, do you teach all the new Kappa Deltas? Like the way you answer the phone is, Kappa Delta, how can I help you? Is that
Oh,
true
yeah.
or not?
That's how I answer your calls, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Kidding, I don't answer
making
phone
sure.
calls, but that, no.
Actually a thing.
Yeah. Is that?
No, I made that up. So
That's good.
there's
What do you
an
mean?
I was like,
there's an old Saturday Night Live skit
mean?
where you need to look this up. There's an SNL skit where they go they're making fun of fraternities and sororities and they go, Delta Delta Delta, can I help you? So it's pretty funny.
We might have to pick that one up,
Try it
though.
out.
It's good times.
Y'all have one of those?
What?
but
You answer the phone.
No.
I'm sick.
What's up?
yeah.
What do you need?
Hey.
Is what I need.
They're just happy if someone actually
Yeah,
picks up
right.
on the other end of the phone. That's probably better,
Yeah.
I'm to the
right?
house. I need your help.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Where-
no, we can't. No, please.
I can't do that.
Where you at? That's how those conversations
Yeah.
go,
Yeah,
right?
that's
Yeah.
a text
Yeah.
message. Where you at? Or I'll get take we're not talking about that.
yeah.
Love you guys if you're ever sick out there. You're a pain in my behind sometimes.
Well, so okay, so you gave us a good high, and that's cool that you get to do that. So you see it as a way to really help freshmen essentially, because that's who most of your
Yep.
recruits are, and you're getting them acclimated to how to live college life and how to, because that's one thing that I don't know if, I guess we kind of talk about it sometimes, but as a college student, sometimes we just forget, like, this is most people's first step out into anything resembling real life.
Yeah.
Because you are making your own decisions at some point, even if this is your hometown, and even if you're living at home, you still aren't going to high school anymore. So it's a different world, that you stepped into. And so I think that is one of the beautiful things about having communities like that, if you have a focus and a purpose for it, to set it up to help people make that adjustment. But again, whatever, that's not what our podcast is about, but good reason to have groups, though, for sure. So maybe that's why God invented community. I don't know, but whatever. So our podcast, The Good 90, is essentially talking about running your race for Christ, like running hard for Christ, essentially, like the idea of, from home to first, you run hard and as hard as you can. And so we sort of flipped that or equated that to running a race for Christ. And so anyway, that's kind of where we're at with all that. And so in thinking about it, that's the question that we wanted to ask you today. Like, come here today to talk about your good 90, like you running for Christ. So what does that look like, and all this kind of stuff? And I guess a good starting point is, how did your good 90 start? Give us some stuff about the beginnings of it.
All right. This might be kind of all over the place story. There's a lot of different moving parts, but so I guess I'd start out with growing up. I always went to church. We went on Sundays. I was too attached to my mom, so I would not go to a children's church, or I would go down for the service, but I wasn't leaving to go back. Went every Sunday. In middle school, I'd go with a friend to Wednesday nights or Sunday school, stuff like that. And then probably about high school, I'd go to all the spin weekends, all the church things that we had around here. Thought I was doing good. Got baptized in like 5th grade at VBS. And then, right around when COVID kind of started, I started getting like really bad anxiety, really big questions, really deep, dark thoughts about the world, what it looked like. I was seeing all these things on TikTok, best place to go when you're anxious about something. And it was like all this, hey, the end of the world, all this virus, all these things happening, government, all this stuff, meant the end was coming. Like Jesus was coming back, the rapture. Like I kept saying that word, and I was like, what does that mean? I've never heard it. Like, grew up in church, you'd think I'd heard it at some point, but I feel like sometimes we try and stray away from it because it is dark and scary sometimes to think about. And so at that point, I kind of started questioning, like, okay, well, like, I've been going to all these things, but am I doing the right thing? Am I going to make it? Like, what's it going to look like when Jesus comes back? Because, like, every night I would go and look outside, or if I was going somewhere at night, like, I'm looking, like, where's he at? I'm going to see it coming. Like, I'm telling y'all, I don't know what, made it happen all of a sudden where that was all my thoughts. And so, like, freshman year, I spent the whole year, like, worried, stressed. Like, once COVID started, which I guess was probably about April, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get my family to come with me? Like, if Jesus really is coming back, like, what is that going to look like? How am I going to get through that? And so I started battling with, am I going to make it? Am I doing the right things to go to heaven? What even is the rapture? Like, all these things that are supposed to happen, everybody's saying they've already happened. So, like, when's it going to happen? I'm just like, TikTok after TikTok, it was all about it. Like, every single one, like, the end is near, the end is near. Like, have you repented of your sins? And I was like, I don't know, have I? And, like, even through all of that, there was no actual, like, repentance or me turning to the Lord. It was just me spending time in fear, like, pitying myself because of how scared I was. And so I'd say that year and probably halfway into my sophomore year of high school, it was still those same thoughts. And then for a little bit, I feel like things kind of eased up, so I just didn't think about it at all. Junior year, I kind of got back into the anxious thoughts are back. My heart's getting kind of shaky, not sleeping real well. I'm waking up with terrible dreams about being left behind or my family being left behind, like scary things that I didn't know how to wrestle with. I didn't know who to talk to about it because we didn't talk about it at my house. We didn't talk about it at church. And I didn't want to seem crazy being so scared about something that in theory is like a great thing to happen and like something, you know, to look forward to. And so senior year, I decided, okay, I have all these questions, I have all these fears. Like, what can I do to feel better about it? And I was like, I mean, I don't even know what the rapture is, so maybe I should start with that. What is it? What does it look like? So I started looking things up. I started reading in the Bible. You know, the book of Revelation, people, you know, stray away from that one.
That's where you started?
Not quite. Like, I read a few verses. But then it was like, okay, so I'm going to commit to this. I'm going to read some of the Bible every single day. I'm going to start small because, I mean, I grew up going to church, but I still had no idea really what this said, what it entailed, what it meant, how to apply it to my life. And so I start reading whatever the verse of the day was. I'd read that whole chapter, okay? That was my thing. And then, you know, there was all over the place. So nothing ever really added together. And so then I come into college, or like summer before I started college, and I was like, okay, like I feel like I'm getting some kind of answers. I'm feeling a little bit better. Like I'm good. Like if Jesus comes back, I'm good. But then it was like, okay, but what about my family? Like how do I, like those thoughts kind of hit me harder than the ones about me because like I care about them. I want to see them there. And so I was like, well, I don't know like how to deal with this, how to get them there, how to talk to them about this. So then I just kind of shut it all down together because I didn't know where to turn. And then I started the Bible recap because I was like, okay, I got to put some of the pieces together, some of it to make sense. And so I read through the Bible recap that year. And
The whole Bible or just the New Testament?
The whole Bible.
Oh, wow.
And it was, I don't know if you'd say the turning point, but all the things, like I had peace in what my thoughts were. I had peace thinking about end times. I had peace when I saw the news on TV where I used to get this big pit in my stomach. And it was like, okay, like I can breathe a little better now. It's, you know, it's a little more comforting to, you know, see some of these things. And yeah, ever since then, like, I guess I would say went through a few different phases.
Yeah.
Of just like things that I learned throughout just actually getting to know the Lord and not getting to know what the rapture was or getting to know what the end times were, the checklist of things that have to happen. It was like spending time in prayer, getting to know the Word, like knowing what was going to happen, but also knowing the person that makes all the things happen and the person I could actually put my trust in and where my peace came from when I didn't think that peace was even an option through all the dark thoughts.
So like when you actually read the whole book, things started to come together, right? It's like, because sometimes, you know, like when people only watch like one episode of a show or, you know, they catch something in the middle or whatever, or they read a book but don't finish it and they're always asking questions or whatever. Like, well, just read the whole book, dummy, you know, and then you might know, you might understand the show if you watch the whole season. You stop asking me the questions, you know, investigate it for yourself. So yeah, you read the whole Bible and that was kind of a, at least
a game changer.
Game changer. That's what
and
I'm
there's
saying.
like still some things, obviously, that I was like, okay, I still don't know a little bit about that. Like some of it still seemed foggy, but
oh, you mean you don't have all the answers now?
Oh no, I still couldn't.
Really?
Definitely not. Oh, I'm kidding. I got them all back here somewhere.
Oh,
Kidding. But just, you know, like I had the foundation of where to go from there. So from then on, like I had a few more steps. You know, I could put a few more steps in front of me. And things felt a lot lighter. I didn't feel like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders and, you know, my family's salvation on my shoulders. And, like, walking around with that was heavy and it was hard. And, I mean, still something that I struggle with at times, but being able to carry it and give it to the Lord, too, just knowing that, like, ultimately it's in His hands and me worrying about it isn't going to change the outcome.
Yeah. So, like, because that is interesting, you almost have to read it or hear it and experience the peace of Christ to not worry and understand that point. Like even Jesus even says it, and people have read it a million times, right? Worrying doesn't add a single hour to your life. Worrying doesn't fix anything, but yet we're so prone to do it. Just as much as we're prone to wander, we're also prone to worry. I mean, that's probably what the average person probably struggles or falls into that more than anything else on the list. You know, I mean, everybody deals with some kind of sin or some kind of thing that pulls them away from God, but worry is one that I think sucks a lot of people in a lot of times on a lot of levels, you know. So, hey, what was the theme of VBS when you were baptized? You remember?
I feel like he knows.
have no idea.
No, I don't
feel
know.
I feel like there's like a mountain on the shirt. I don't know.
If you're not a church person, like VBS is Vacation Bible School. It's like a week of fun stuff at a church for a kid with some Bible thrown in there, and nowadays everybody's got a cool theme for their VBS or whatever, it's like summer explosion or safari with Jesus or I don't know, kind of, just the goofiest crap, or whatever to seem cool. For kids. So I was just being stupid, but I was curious if you remembered it. Oh, yeah.
But
wait, was Sean Hornsby in charge of that VBS?
No, not this one. I definitely did attend some that he was in charge of,
Yeah,
but this was at a different church.
I bet he had some lame themes too. So.
But back to like you talking about worry and
Yeah.
like what even is the point in worrying? I guess I feel like looking back from like the start of where all the anxious thoughts and the spiral started to like now, like thinking of it as, okay, it was true, like fear, like I'm afraid of this, I'm scared of this, like pit in my stomach, don't know where to go, it's dark, I'm alone, nobody knows what I'm feeling, like I didn't know who to turn to. But like now looking back, it's kind of approaching that with like a holy fear. And so just seeing that little switch and being able to recognize it in my heart, like, okay, not that I should fear this happening, but like I should have some type of like holy fear or understanding of it, like spending more time in like prayer over it rather than worry.
Yeah.
But still recognizing that like it's gonna happen, and like not that I shouldn't be like 100% on everybody, like the whole world, this is gonna be great, but like, just kind of the responsibility to understand what's happening and, where I'm at, how to get people around me there and kind of like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think like fear the Lord, like fear, like that's one of those words where there's layers to how it means, when you look it up in the different, languages or whatever, but there's a difference between being afraid of something and having like awe and respect and reverence and kind of that. And I think, like you said, it is like a little bit of a switch, right? And so I don't know, like I'm thinking about who was the person that you were the most afraid of when you were a kid?
My mom.
Okay. What about,
I love you.
I mean, I guess my dad, but straight like from freshman year to senior year, Coach Eric Herndon.
yeah, Coach Herndon at Neville, right?
I
Yeah.
hope he's watching this, and he still knows that. Like, I don't know. It's just
He could literally make you do anything, probably, right?
yeah.
Yeah. And see, we're not supposed to be afraid of, like, you're definitely not supposed to be afraid of your mom, right? But so there's that understanding of, okay, awe and reverence and respect, and putting that in a different category, and eventually you're not probably scared of your mother anymore.
I wouldn't say it was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see my mom, but like I respected my mom.
Yeah.
I didn't want to, like, I was afraid or I feared her because if I did something bad, she was going to punish me.
Oh yeah.
So it was not like, oh my gosh, I don't like my mom.
Well, no. But I'm saying as you've grown, though,
Oh yes, 100%.
the way you feel about her, you understand that in a better way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is the same with God, I think, right? Even Herndon, as much as ninth grade Mason Shelby probably was scared to death of him, if you saw him at church or on the street today, you'd have a different conversation. The level of respect is probably actually even more than it was before.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I have the most respect for Coach Eric Herndon. He's a warrior for Christ, and he's just a solid guy.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't see it back then.
Yeah.
I was just scared senseless.
Yeah, almost like
But,
don't make eye contact.
Yeah, like, please don't make me do push-ups. Please don't make me do push-ups.
But that's how it is with God. Like a lot of people, they're scared to death of that concept, because he is so awe-inspiring or whatever. He is so different and so out there and so big. And if you start to think about it, and then if you just pick a few random passages from the Bible, it can get even more scary, if you don't pick the right ones, And so it's funny somehow people don't ever read the ones that are like, consider the lilies of the field, or I love you more than sparrows,
Straight to
it's like,
Revelation.
they read that's like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be dead.
All doom and gloom. Yeah.
And so, but yeah, but I think it's cool how you can see that now that it took time to build the relationship, but as you did, that switch did flip, and it wasn't a panic fear, it was a reverence fear. And I think probably what you would say is that it called you into deeper relationship with him, right? So
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, when you were telling your whole thing, I'm like, man, we literally have like the same testimony. I feel like just like of not necessarily like word for word, but you said like the turning point in your life was when you did the Bible recap. I would say that'd be the turning point in my life is when I did
It
the
all
Bible
made
recap,
sense,
because
finally.
I read the New Testament, and I'm about to quote Pastor Joby, man, but I was listening to him last night, and we're talking about fear, and there's fear not is said 365 times in the Bible.
yeah,
It's every day of the year, including leap year, because they're his exact words. But it's so funny, man, how when we hide the word of God in our heart, that fear of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die and go to hell, turns into, oh my gosh, God, like I fear you because you came and died on the cross for me. Like, what else? Like,
Yeah.
you can do anything. Like,
Yeah.
you can take my life at this moment right now.
Mm.
And so, like, I'm just reading that and like, or not reading that, listening to you say that, and it's just like, man, that's so crazy how when we hide this book in our heart, like it changes everything about everything.
Yeah.
And it completely derails the way of our lives, and we turn it to how can we glorify his life and what he did for us, and it's just like, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, so that is really good, right? Both of you on that, because this becomes the filter through which we see everything, right? It's kind of like when people say, give me your eyes, Jesus, to see the world through your eyes, that kind of thing. That's what happens when you ingest this.
Yeah.
You know, it becomes the filter through which you see everything else, and then you can look at it through God's perspective, right? And that is funny that you said, like, fear not is in there that many times. Like every time there's a massive encounter with God, that's one of the first things that gets said, hey, don't be afraid, we're going to be all right here. I know I look amazing, and you're just a pitiful human, but hey, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
What I'm about to tell you is going to be crazy, but don't be afraid of it. And so I think, isn't that right? Like, what you're reading in here may sound crazy, but don't be afraid of it, right? And so I think God tells us that a lot when we're running this good 90, when it looks like we're about to run off a cliff or we're going to go do something crazy for God. He's like, yeah, I know it's a little crazy. It's different than what the world's saying to you, but don't be afraid. We're cool. I got this. Have confidence in me.
I think I can just take, I don't know about for you, but like reading this book, or for all of us, like you talk about like walking off a mountain. Like I would walk off the mountain because I know this book.
Yeah.
I know what Christ has done for me. So it's like, well, if I'm going to walk off the mountain, like Jesus is going to catch me.
Yeah.
Because I know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so, I don't know, man. I just love that book, love the gospel.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that is cool. That's how, when you read the whole thing, then that's when things begin to click. And I think most people, they give things a look, and then like, psh, whatever. That's what I thought. I'm out, Like, I remember being a freshman. I went to church with some guys one time, and I went to church a few times my freshman year, but I went to this one church with this one particular group of guys one time, and they were always asking me to go, and I went the one time, and that one day, the pastor's sermon was on something related to finances, tithing, money. It's probably a very biblically sound sermon that everyone in the church that was regularly attending really needed to hear. But what I heard was, oh yeah, just go to church, they just talk about money. Deuces. Nobody said deuces in 1989, but in my head, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm out, I don't need this, it's what I thought, And so that's what happens, is we'll take a glance at God and we see something we don't like, or something that kind of makes us uncomfortable, or whatever the excuse can be, and then we don't engage at all. Where you like begin to dig in more.
No, I mean, it did take a little while.
No.
Once I finally made that decision.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got, and like for me, like, yeah, it didn't take that day. That Sunday was not a red letter day in Alan Johnson's life, for sure, right? But eventually it did. And so I think, like, enough hits at something, you take enough swings, eventually, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna find something, and I think that's what being consistent, even if you're not consistently good, being consistent at something and especially being consistent with God, you're a proximity, you're around him more, you're opening up your life more. Eventually, it begins to hit on a different level.
Yeah, and kind of to build off that, Avery, so how has college like affected, like going into college and then like up until now, how has college affected your consistency like with God?
I was about to bring that up actually, like just
Because they've been talking too much.
It's your turn.
Mason don't talk anyway, so it don't matter.
No,
He just
solid.
He just did. But I like that question. So I feel like things kind of started going good and smooth once right before I started college. And so then coming into college, things were like, they got kind of rocky. I came in, I joined a sorority. Like, I mean, if you've heard of sorority, you know what that entails, kind of like
What's that?
the temptations and just college in general. Like, you have more free time. Maybe you moved away from home, or maybe you still live at home, but there's still more freedom in that, I guess. But just, I can tell when I'm like not leaning on the Lord, not spending time in his word. Like, I feel the anxious thoughts building back up. I see something on the news and I immediately get nervous again, and I'm like, okay, like I'm not dialed in. I gotta reel it back in. I gotta open this book. Like, I can't keep neglecting it because I'm busy, or because I have the sorority thing, or school's hard, or things like that. But just, reminding myself that I daily have to pick up my cross and walk with it. Which, I mean, some days I forget it. Like, in all honesty, it's not always a good day. It's not always a good week. I'm not always consistent. I'm not always on fire for the Lord, I'd say. Like, I mean, I feel like that's for most people. But, I still know where to lean. I know where to turn to when I've recognized, okay, this isn't the path I'm supposed to be on. This isn't. I might be about to go off a cliff, but not in a good way like y'all are talking about. But knowing where to turn, knowing the people I can turn to that are going to hold me accountable. They're going to, feed me what I need to have, and they're going to kind of, walk with me through it as well. And maybe they've been through it, or maybe they need to hear of me going through something. Like, they need to know that it's, like, okay to struggle, but kind of where to go from there in a way.
Yeah. That's good with, like, you recognizing, hey, I haven't been leaning on the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
I find myself there a lot.
Yeah.
Like, last night, in my bed, I'm freaking out about my family.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, being away from them, and just, like, I haven't talked to them. I need to talk to them more. Like, they're about to die. Like, this, that, and the other. Like, all these crazy thoughts.
Yeah.
It's because I haven't been in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart posture, my eyes have not been fixed on, hey, Jesus, you are the Lord and Savior of my life, and I'm going to glorify you in everything I've done, everything I'm going to do, this is about my life now.
Yeah.
How can I, like, what are my worries, my concerns, my thoughts are higher in status to you? And, two, with the accountability thing as well, like, I know we talk about it a lot in our Bible study, like, I would not be the person I am today if I didn't have a group of men around me, to tell me, hey, Wyatt, you're a sinner and you need Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, you're sinning and you need Jesus. And so that's huge. I think that's just like with life in general. I mean, God didn't make us to live alone. I mean, it's just like, you live alone, you're gonna lose. I think that's the way it is. Just having a group of guys around you, a group of girls around you, who know Jesus and just pour into you when you need it, and then you pour into them when they need it too. I just think it's huge. So that's good.
And honestly, like, over the summer, I struggled a lot with, like, I guess maybe purpose and just stress of all the things that were coming up. I knew this semester was going to be busy, and I let that get to me. And then once school started, I neglected this, like, I mean, you're saying, and, like, I could feel it. I could feel my heart drifting away a little bit. I could feel, like, I wasn't as peaceful as I normally was. The anxious thoughts were kind of piling up. But, like, just me reminding myself, like, I have to turn back to the Lord. I have to lean on him, because that was kind of one of the first steps through the whole big story of, like, the fear and the questions and all that. Like, once I finally chose to lean on the Lord, like, things started shifting after that. And so just recognizing that, like, me stepping away, like, he didn't leave me there, because here I am. Like, and then when y'all asked me to do this, I was like, well, no, like, I've been struggling this whole school year. Like, I've had all these thoughts and all this. Like, I'm not the one that can be on this podcast sharing with y'all. But then I was like, but the Lord took me back. Like, he didn't leave me in that pit. And so, I mean, here I am getting to tell it. And I mean, I wish that the start of school, I would have been like 110%. Like, yes, Lord, this is for you, but I wasn't. And, just that's hard to grapple with in itself because I felt like I was doing good for so long. But I mean, what even is good? I feel like in the sense of walking with the Lord, like we still fail every day in a way.
Yeah. I relate with that heavy. I mean, like compared to starting last school year and then starting this school year, last school year I came from, like, not trying to sound like this, but an almost heaven on earth like place, Colorado, whitewater rafting and preaching the gospel every single day, and I made it my life. And then I came here and I was just on fire. Like, man, I'm so ready to get to these guys in the fraternity, get to guys on campus, get involved with Wesley, like, and I was on fire, and like fruit came from that. But then, this summer I was working construction all summer and not preaching the gospel every day and getting shot down when I tried to preach the gospel. And it's just like I've been struggling to find like the fire back under me to like get out and roll. And I know that feeling. So.
And it's kind of like coming back to college. Like, obviously, you see more temptations. You see kind of how people are living their lives outside of the bubble we're used to, outside of Bible study on Mondays. And so, like, in a way, you could look at it as an opportunity. But for me, it kind of felt defeating because I was like, well, I mean, like, I don't even know what to do, how to help, and all this, instead of being like, okay, Lord, where can you have me that I can, help somebody in their walk? Like, I kind of took it as a burden that people were, struggling in a way, instead of me, like, seeking of how to help, how to advance the kingdom of God, how we talked about last week at Bible study. So then I come and we talk about, like, the life that we live and the people we impact, and I was like, okay, what an on-time God. Like, the message that I needed to hear right there in my face.
I think, and we kind of already talked about this, but it's cool that you can open up about your anxiety, because I do think that's, I mean, I don't know, it's sort of like a silent killer, like people don't want to talk about it. And like we said earlier, there's a lot of things that people struggle with, right? But anxiety is one of those that it sort of also feeds the other things too, right? Because I'm anxious about this, so then I'm going to do this, and it leads. It's like the gateway fear, the gateway drug, or there's like the gateway thing. It opens the door up for so many other things, and nobody really wants to talk about it. I mean, I know everybody's like mental health these days. It's a real trendy thing to speak on, but I think nobody really wants to say what they're afraid of. Nobody really wants to talk about it, and so you being able to open up about it hopefully would help somebody else open up about it, to let people know that they're not alone in that, right? And so I think that's really cool. And I think too, like, realizing, I wrote this on my board the other day, and it was up there for a long time, and then I cleaned my board off in my office, but I wrote a couple of things down on paper and stuck them somewhere else where I could see them. And it's like that we should see obstacles as opportunities, right? And so what was a burden, and then you turned it into, no, wait, this is an opportunity for the kingdom of God and for me to really live into something here. And so I think that's real important too, because then that gives you purpose in life, which, if we're without purpose, then we're adrift, and we can get way off course. And so I think having purpose, and so that's what I was going to ask about, like, your good 90, and you've already kind of answered it. But when you're running hard after Christ, right? When you're running that race, you need purpose in there, right? And that's what, with Jesus, he gives you that purpose. And sometimes your purpose might shift, and I would hope it would change a little bit as you grow and as you run further in that race. So what would you say now? Like, so here's the beginning of your good 90, and then you're further along right here. Like, how's your purpose changed? If you hadn't already answered that question,
I'd say kind of when I started, like, my purpose then was like me getting where I needed to be in order to be where I am right now. Like, if I never would have had those dark thoughts, like, I don't know when it would have started. Like, I mean, in the moment it was like, why does this have to be like my turning point? Because it was hard, and I battled it for a while. But kind of equipping myself, like, through the Lord, leaning on him, getting to know his word, and then, like, years down the road, like I talked about, I get to lead these new members, and I get to show them how I live and hopefully be a good witness, to them. But then in the aspect of like school, like I want to be a teacher. Like I know that that's what the Lord's laid on my heart. Like I 100% know. I mean, if that changes one day, like
Sure.
that's that. But like for right now, like I know that I'm supposed to be a teacher, and I have so much peace and joy in that. And then, being the leader in KD that I get the privilege of being, and like understanding that I have to steward that well. And that like I get to show these girls college and Kappa Delta, and showing them that like you can be in a sorority and you can live differently than the world. It's hard, and we're all going to struggle with it at some point, but like being able to see that somebody got through it, there's hope. Because I mean that's kind of what I needed coming through. I was iffy on the whole thing, but I got to see people that lived out their faith, and they lived it out well, and they were in a sorority, or they did this in college or whatever. And then just kind of like the aspect of at home, like my purpose at home. For a while I was like, oh my gosh, how do I get them to start thinking about these things and understanding this? But I didn't want them to be afraid and have the deep, dark thoughts that I had about all of it. So I kind of kept silent about it. But then I feel like them getting to see me be involved in Wesley and like maybe ask questions about it, or you have me speak at some things, and that is just not my jam, but I do it. And then honestly, just like one of my prayers for a while was for my brother. And like that kind of started when all the fear things started. And then like him in college, at the point I was struggling, he was struggling. He felt like he had the weight of the world on his shoulders, and I did too. It was different weights, but like I knew we were both struggling, and I couldn't give him my burdens because I knew he had his own. But when I started leaning into the Lord and pursuing him in prayer, then like he kind of met you, and baseball and Wesley and all that was kind of, all those pieces were starting to turn. And then last year I get to see him get baptized. So like even through it, through the doubts, through the fears, the questionings, the worries about my family, like I mean, yeah, they're still there, but like I can see the Lord's faithfulness through all of it. Even if I get to a point where I'm kind of feeling lonely, like right now I'm like, okay, but he did it then. So like I know I can trust that he's going to keep doing it. He's going to stay with me, and just, learning that when I kind of doubt my purpose, or I mean, what even am I doing on a Tuesday morning, like in here telling you all of this, like I know there's purpose in it, even if I don't see it right now.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I hope that people can relate to this, but even like down the road, I mean, coordinating sorority stuff, like, I mean, what is the purpose in that? In a way, I kind of struggle with that sometimes. Like, I mean, big picture, like what is all of this, but understanding it, like it's the me being present right there in that moment,
In that
the
moment.
relationships I'm building, the me being, holding somebody else accountable, them holding me accountable, being an encourager, because sometimes that's all that somebody needs, and just being able to see somebody that's living slightly different.
Yeah, that's we definitely wonder what the heck we're doing in here on a Tuesday morning, every Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we look the part, but
Yeah. And
Why are we doing this? What are we doing?
Why am I on here?
And to clarify, yeah, you and your brother do carry different weights, because he's an animal and you can't lift what he can lift, So
okay, please don't make his ego any bigger than it already is.
yeah, and like something that I kind of was thinking about while you were saying that is that, especially me and Wyatt, like living in the present right now about KD, and like what's all this gonna mean in 10 years or 15 years? Like, ain't no one gonna remember me and you from Kappa Sig. I really hope not either. And but like our mission right now is just like right now in present day is so important, because we find ourselves in a position that we can actually go out and save some guys and bring the gospel to them, bring the Lord to them, and just let the Lord use us as much as he wants.
I think my mindset flipped from just being like, oh, this is just a gospel thing. Like, yeah, Jesus, I'm going to tell these guys about Jesus. And, I did my part to like, no, this is a war. And we forget that a lot of times.
Yeah.
John 10:10, the thing in Ephesians we talked about last night, where Paul's talking about it's not about flesh and blood, but spirits of evil, and I just butchered that verse, whatever. But like living in your purpose and knowing your why, I think that's just huge. Like you have to, even if you don't feel on fire for the Lord, like right now. Like, I have not been in my Bible. I have not been praying a lot. Like, and I want people to know that about me because I'm not some special, perfect, like, great Christian. I suck at it.
You really aren't Brady Riles. Come
No,
on.
I'm not. Yeah, shout out Brady, man. You're better than everybody at this table. I'm just kidding, man. I love you. But like to even know that a perfect and holy God would use someone as wretched as a sinner as me to allow me to still have a purpose of being like, hey, I want to save these guys. No, I cannot save them. Let me rephrase that. I want to tell these guys about Jesus because He is good. You talked about earlier, like, what is good? Jesus is good. You know, and it's just like, man, I think I've seen more fruit, and it's not even my fruit to bear, but I've seen more fruit of me showing people that I'm a sinner and being true and authentic and just being like, hey, guys, like, I sin, like, bad, a lot. And I want you to know about it because there's a guy in heaven who came down as a man and died on the cross for you and for me. And so it's just like, we talk about that a lot in our Bible studies all the time. Like, guys, I told my guys yesterday at First Methodist, like, y'all might not think about this now, but this table is going to be a group of guys here. You're going to talk about your sin, and we're going to pray for you. Because that's how it's supposed to be. Because we're all not perfect, but we serve the one who is. And I just can't get over it. It's awesome, man. It's awesome. But, yeah, just being authentic and really understanding how you got to go.
Hey,
we're trying to be casual, but yeah. Some people have class.
We were gonna let you go, but I was giving Alan the signal.
I was kind of blabbering about the same thing. We just serve an awesome God. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't get it.
God is good.
He is all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
All the
Okay,
time.
church guys, whatever. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So if you could say one last thing, because Mason's got class. So the good 90 is bounded by the fact that you guys are here to get an education as well. So one last thing.
I guess just kind of wherever you're at right now, know that you can turn to the Lord with whatever doubts and fears that it is. Something I grappled with for a while. Like, He takes it all and He can redeem it all too. Yeah. And just understanding that is a big game changer for me.
And also your favorite episode of the Good 90 podcast. I'm just kidding.
It's gonna be this one.
I did watch them, but
I'm just kidding. What is this?
We'll say the one last Tuesday that I haven't heard yet.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so leave it out there. Yeah. So cool. Thanks for being on this, man.
Thanks for having
me. We may do it again in the future. Continue the story. But yeah, for everybody out there, just stay on that 90. I think. And man, if you've never even started running, hopefully what Avery said, I think, is an encouragement to do that. So anyway, so Avery, you can end us, but yeah, we're officially signing off. So yeah, adios, guys.
See y'all guys later.
Bye.